Hello everyone, can you all hear me? Hello everyone, can you all hear me? Okay, how are you people doing? Hi Raj, Sri, Yogita, Abhishek. Okay, welcome to the IELTS webinar guys. How are you people doing? Great, good to know that. Okay, so before we begin, just let me know what you people are currently doing and what your future aspirations are. Like what you're doing currently and which country do you aspire to go to, and for what reasons? What are your reasons? And I mean, are you going for education purpose or you're going for immigration purpose? If you're going for education, which country do you want to go to and what do you want to pursue? Just put these things over here and then we'll begin. Okay, Italy for mechanical engineering masters. Okay, good Abhishek. Fourth year of architecture. Okay, Veronica, what do you want to do? Currently, bachelor's and okay, Canada or Turkey for PhD in microbiology. Okay, Canada for education purpose. Hi Yashwant, what are you doing currently, and what your future aspirations are? Academic. You want to go to Shifa. You want to go to UK. Good. Just completed my 12th in commerce, and I want to go to Canada for business studies. Okay, great. Canada for masters. Okay, good. So anyone who is going for general training, I mean for permanent residency or for work visa or something of that sort. Anyone who is seeking permanent residency or work permit or so. UK for my masters. Okay. So I hope you people know about the basics. Okay, Akash. So what are you doing? I mean, what your aspirations are, Akash? Move to Canada. Okay, for permanently. Okay, that is permanent residency. Okay. For PR basis. So I see some people for PR also. Okay. So guys, let's begin with it. Okay. So in today's webinar, we are going to discuss about the IELTS, the general pattern of the exam. Okay, we are going to see what is the pattern, how does the exam work, what are the different things that we have on the exam, and along with the each module, let's say when we discuss the thing, we will discuss also the preparation strategies over here, how we can prepare for the different modules that we have. Okay, the different sections that we have on the IELTS exam, how we can prepare for that. Okay, and at the end of this session, we will have a question answer session. Once I'm done with the overview and with the preparation strategies and all, we'll have a question answer session where I'll take the queries of all of you. Okay, so do not ask your questions in between the session. If you have anything related to what is going on in the session, okay, if I'm teaching something and you're not able to understand that, then you can ask the thing, and but don't ask any irrelevant questions. Okay, if you have any general questions, keep it with you, and towards the end we will have a we will have a question answer session. I'll surely address your questions there. So let's begin with this session. What does IELTS stand for? I hope you all know this, right? IELTS stands for International English Language Testing System. It's a test of our English language proficiency and basically a test of our communication skills. So why do we need to take this exam? We need to take this exam to prove that we have a basic proficiency or we have the minimal level of communication in the language of English, right? It just shows that if a person is able to get a good band score in the IELTS exam, it shows that we will be able to survive in an English speaking nation, right? When we go to a foreign country where the native speakers of English, where the native speakers speak English. So we must be able to survive in that environment. So just to ensure that we are able to communicate effectively, that is, we are able to make ourselves understood to the people, and in turn we are able to understand them, we need to give this exam. So as I said, it's a test of our communication tested. When I say about communication skills, there are 4 skills that are tested on the IELTS exam. We have listening, reading, writing, and speaking. These are the 4 communicative skills. that are tested on the exam. Okay, now before I proceed, just one more thing that I want to ensure is, do we all know about what is general training and what is academic? If you know, then you can just classify yourself by putting AC over here if you know that you are academic. Put GT if you are general training. Anusha, this is for general training as well as for academic candidates. Okay, we are going to discuss everything. Just want to know whether you people know about the two versions of the exam. There are two types of the IELTS exam. We have general training and we have academic. So are you all aware of that? Just want to make sure. Anyone who doesn't know about it, please let me know. We'll discuss that and then we'll proceed further. Okay, good. Yeah, anyone who doesn't know about it, still I'll discuss this. So we have two types of the IELTS exam. Candidates who want to go to abroad to pursue their higher education. Okay, Abhishek, listen to it, you will understand. Okay, see, depends upon the purpose. It depends upon the purpose for which you are taking the IELTS exam, which determines what type of exam you should take. There are two types of the IELTS exam, you can say. One is academic, the other is general training. So academic version of the test is taken by students who want to pursue their higher education from abroad or from a foreign country. Whereas general training is taken for people who want to go to abroad for any non-academic purpose. It can be for work permit, for if you're seeking a permanent residency, that you want to become a citizen of any country. For these purpose, means any non-academic purpose, you will have to take the general training version of the test. I hope this is clear to all of you now. Right? So if it is academic, if you want to pursue your higher education, then you will take the academic version of the test. If you're going for any other purpose than education, then you will take the general training test. I hope this is very clear to all of you now. So as I said that there are 4 communication skills that are tested. So for your knowledge, listening and speaking are the same for academic as well as general training candidates. But reading and writing is where the difference is. Reading and writing are different for academic and general training candidates. So we are going to discuss what are the differences. Okay, we are going to discuss the overview of the IELTS exam and what are the differences between if you take the academic version of the test or you take the general training version of the test. What is the difference? And we will also discuss the preparation strategies along with all this. Okay. So let's start. What is IELTS? As I said, IELTS stands for International English Language Testing System. It's a test of our English language proficiency and it tests communication skills. Now the test format. What's the test format? We have 4 modules, right? We have listening, reading, writing and speaking. Okay. One thing that you should know is that IELTS is conducted by 3 bodies in conjunction. It's a joint venture of British Council, IDP and University of Cambridge. Now this is a very general question that the students ask me, sir, should I take the exam through British Council or through IDP? So here I want to introduce one thing is, whether you take the exam through British Council or the IDP, see, these are the 2 bodies, these are the 2 channels through which the exam is conducted. But whether you take it through British Council or the IDP, the body that determines your question paper or that sets your question paper is the University of Cambridge. Whether you take the exam through British Council or IDP. So it doesn't really make sense or doesn't really make a difference whether you take it through British Council or the IDP. They are evaluating your paper on the same parameters. Okay, both British Council or IDP, they are both the candidates, whether you take it through British Council or IDP, you're writing the same exam, the same questions. Okay, and then the parameters of evaluation are also the same. So there is basically no difference. Okay. Now, as I said, modules over here means the 2 versions. As I said, there are 2 types of the IELTS exam, academic and general training. Now about your test results, guys. So first thing that you should know is that your IELTS test, once you get the scorecard, after you have given the exam, you will receive the scorecard. Now this scorecard is valid until 2 years, meaning that you can use this scorecard for your processing of admission or your permanent residency or whatever you aspire for. For all your processes, you can use it for entire 2 years. But after that, the validity expires, means you will have to give the exam again. Right? Now, there are 4 modules. What do I call module? I would refer to module listening, reading, writing and speaking from now on. I'll refer as modules. Okay, so you don't get any marks on the IELTS exam, rather you get a band score here on a scale of 1 to 9 bands. Okay, so what happens is, for each of these communication skills, that is listening, reading, writing and speaking, you separately get a band score between 1 to 9 bands. For listening, you get a band score between 1 to 9. Reading, you get a band score between 1 to 9. And similarly for writing and speaking as well, you get a band score between 1 to 9 bands. Okay. Now, at the end, you get something which is known as overall band score. Okay. What is the meaning of overall band score? Sum up the band scores of individual modules. That is, band score of the listening module plus the band score of reading plus the band score of writing and speaking divided by 4, which is nothing but the sum average, you can say. So the sum average of the band scores of individual modules gives you the overall band score. So when someone asks you how much have you scored on the IELTS exam, so they are asking for your overall band score. So how do we determine it? Just add your band scores of individual modules and divide it by 4. So there is no passing or failing mark over here. This is very important. Okay. And now some of the people ask me, sir, how much do I need to score in the IELTS if I want a permanent residency of Canada, or if I want to immigrate to Australia, or for any different purpose, how much do I need to score? So I cannot generalize it, or even I should say no one can generalize it. Okay, if you are a general training candidate, okay, or in other words, if you are planning to move for any non-academic purpose, that is, you're going for work permit, or you're applying for any non-academic purpose, you're going for permanent residency, you're seeking the citizenship of a country. See, for any of these purposes, if you're going, there are a lot of things that they take into consideration when they evaluate your profile. Okay, what happens is you require some kind of points. So each country have said that you need to get these many points in order to get your, in order to get the permanent residency or the work permit in our country. So they have determined some point scores. In order to get those point scores, different people need different band score in the IELTS exam. It depends upon a lot of factors, such as your educational qualification, your work experience, your nature of work, your marital status, your age. So there are a lot of factors basing upon which you get a so it cannot be generalized. There are a lot of things that are taken into consideration. So depends upon purpose, from person to person, that it will differ. Only when you get your profile evaluated can it be determined that how much does a person need in order to immigrate to a certain country or for some purpose. Even for academic candidates, it cannot be generalized, guys. Usually a 6.5 to 7 bands is considered to be good for medium colleges. It's good, you know. A 7 band can get you admissions in good colleges. Okay, I'm not saying top-notch colleges, but yes, good colleges. 7 bands can open doors of many of the colleges. But again, I would say that it depends upon college to college, right? Or university to university. It depends upon which university are you aspiring for, which stream do you want to pursue your education in. So it's a sum total of many factors that will determine how much do you need to get in the IELTS exam. It cannot be one. Okay. Moreover, for academic candidates, this is just a part of your overall, application thing. Okay, because there are a lot of things: your academic your academic background, your SOP, your LOR. There are a lot of things that determine your chances of getting admission. IELTS is just a part of it, right? Okay, so having said that, let's move to the next slide, which is band scores. Now, as I said, that students get a band score over here. They are not awarded with any marks. They rather get a band score between 1 to 9 bands. Similarly, you are classified into different kinds of uses basing upon the band score that you get in the exam. Now, as I've already said that IELTS is a test of our communication skills. We have listening, reading, writing and speaking over here. Okay, so now we are going to see in detail about what these modules are, what we actually have to do on the test day, and we will also simultaneously discuss the preparation strategies, right? Okay. So, as soon as you go to the examination hall, okay, before this, I want to discuss few things, guys, like there are 2 versions of the test. We have, 2 ways of taking the test. One is paper-based test, the other is computer-based test, right? So what happens? Now, I'll first discuss about the the paper-based test, and later I would discuss about the computer-based test. So if you are giving a paper-based test, you will have to go to an examination hall. As soon as you go to the examination hall, the first section that you will have to answer will be the listening section. What will happen over here is each and every student is given a headphone. In this headphone, audios will be played. You'll have to listen to different kinds of audios, and based upon your understanding of the audios, you will have to answer 40 questions in 30 minutes. I hope this is understood to all of you, right? So headphones will be given, you will have to listen to the audios, and then you have to answer 40 questions in 30 minutes. Now these audios will be divided into 4 parts, which we will discuss in the next slide. And these 40 questions can be of different question types. We have multiple choice, we have form completion, note completion, table completion, as you can see over here. So there are in total 11 question types from where these 40 questions can be asked. In each of the parts further, you can have 2 or 3 of question types, right? Like out of each section will contain, okay, there are 4 sections and there are 40 questions. So each section has how many questions? 4 sections, 40 questions means each section has 10 questions. Now, these 10 questions can be of 2 or 3 different question types, right? The first 6 questions can be of a particular question type, and the other 4 questions can be of a different question type. Let's say the first 6 are form completion, the other 4 can be note completion. Getting it? So, in the same section, you may have 2 or 3 different question types, right? Okay. Now, for what happens is, okay, after now when you are listening to the audios, as I said that for the first 30 minutes you will be listening to the audios. So while you're listening to the audios, you are first supposed to write your answers in the question booklet. You are not writing your answers directly in the answer sheet. This is very, very important. Where are you writing the answers? You are writing the answers as you listen to the audio. You first write the answers in the question booklet itself. Therefore, at the end of the test, that is at the end of the 30 minutes, you will listen to an instruction which will say, now you have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the actual answer sheet. This is when you have to transfer your 40 answers to the actual listening answer sheet. Getting it? First, you have to answer it in the question booklet itself, and at the end, you will get 10 minutes of time, which is known as a transfer time, to transfer your answers from the question booklet to the actual answer sheet, listening answer sheet. Could you all understand this? Give me a yes if all of you could understand this. Okay, good. Okay. So there are 4 sections, right? As I said, there are 4 sections in the exam. Now, section 1. Section 1 is a dialogue. Dialogue means what? It's a conversation between 2 people. You will listen to a conversation between 2 people set in everyday social context, or you can simply say non-academic context. They are talking on a topic which is not related to academics at all, right? For example, let's say a person goes to a DVD shop to buy a DVD. So you will get to listen to a conversation between the DVD salesperson and the customer, or the person who has gone to buy a DVD. So what kind of a conversation can we expect? The salesperson may ask the person, what kind of DVDs do you usually watch, right? How many times a week do you watch DVDs? What kind of films do you like watching, right? And what kind of non-films do you like watching? Non-films means it can be music DVDs, documentaries, different kinds of things, right? Comedy programs and these kind of things, sports DVDs. So these are non-film DVDs. So you will listen to these kind of conversations. Or another example can be, let's say a person has planned to go on a holiday trip and he wants to book certain rooms in a hotel. So he gives a call to the hotel, and you will listen to a conversation between the hotel representative and this person who has given a call, who wants to book a room. So this person, what kind of conversation can we expect? The hotel representative will ask this person, may I know your name please, right? Okay, how many rooms do you want to book? How many people are coming? What will be your date of arrival? What will be your check-in time? What will be your checkout time? Do you need any extra facilities? Right? So you will get to listen to this kind of a conversation, and based on that, you will have to answer 10 questions. Now, section 2 is a monologue. What is monologue, guys? So section 1 is a dialogue, means 2 people speaking. Section 2 is a monologue, means 1 person speaking. Mono means what? 1. So here you will find 1 person speaking, but the context is again the same as the section 1. The context or the topic is again everyday social context, means not related to academics. Okay. So here you will listen one person speaking on a certain topic which is not related to academics. For example, you can say a, a, a salesperson who is trying to sell the product of his company. Okay, a fire extinguisher salesperson. So he's saying that, okay, this fire extinguisher has these features, why you should have a fire extinguisher at home, what are the special features of this fire extinguisher that this person is selling, right? So these kind of things can this person tell you. Okay. Now, so section 1 and section 2 we have seen it's based on everyday social context. Now section 3 and section 4 are based on academic context. Okay, something that is related to academic or it's related to education, training background. So section 3 is a conversation, it's known as a discussion. Section 3 is known as a discussion. Here you can listen to up to a voice of, though it says 4 people, you can see in the slide it says up to 4 people. But until this date there has been no audio in the IELTS where there were 4 people speaking simultaneously, that is at the same time. Okay, you will find usually 2 to 3 people, right? So an example can be, you will listen to a conversation between a student and a professor. Let's say a student is facing some problem in a certain subject. So the student goes to the professor and says, Professor, I'm facing this kind of a problem in the subject that you teach. How do you think I can improve? So the professor will give some strategies to the student saying that, okay, this is the kind of material that you should follow, or this is the kind of thing that you should practice, right? How to get better with the subject. Or you can listen to a conversation between 2 students also, 2 university students who have got to do a project together. Okay, so let's say the 2 students in a class have got to do a group project together. So they are discussing between themselves what responsibility will each of them take to accomplish the project or to make the project. Getting it? So one of them says that I'll do this part of the project. The other one says, okay, I'll take this part of the project. So they are discussing what responsibility will each of them take. Okay, so that is section 3. So here the conversation is necessarily in an academic background, means what they're talking about is related to education. Section 4 is again a monologue, but this monologue is in academic, on an academic subject. So monologue on an academic subject means what? It's a lecture, right? Monologue on an academic subject is a lecture. An apt example of this section can be this session, right? Where you're able to listen to just one voice. So I am speaking on something that is definitely related to studies, education, right? Academic. So this is an apt example of a monologue. So here you will listen to an actual classroom recorded lecture. You can listen to a physics lecture or a chemistry lecture or a psychology lecture, any kind of lecture. Okay, and you will have to understand what the professor is trying to put forward, and you will have to answer 10 questions based on that. Are all the 4 parts of the speaking module, of the listening module, clear to all of you? Mahant, I'll address your question only at the end. Please do not ask any irrelevant questions now. At the end of this session, okay, at the end of this overview of the IELTS and the preparation strategies and everything else, we will have a question answer session. You can ask your questions over there, I'll definitely address. Okay, but do not ask these questions now. Have all of you understood these 4 sections, guys? Okay. Now, skills assessed. What are the skills assessed in the listening test? So, understanding of main ideas and specific factual information. So, sometimes, there are a lot of things that are said in the audio. You'll find sometimes the audios are too long. It might be a 6 or 7 minute audios, and not everything is important in that audio again. You don't have to follow each and every word that is said in the audio to get the answer. Alright, very long audios and you have just 3 questions to answer. Hina, please don't ask these questions now. I'll have a question answer session at the end. Please don't ask these questions now. Okay. So you have a lot of information in the audio. You just need to extract whatever is required for you to answer the questions. As simple as that. You don't have to pay attention to every petty thing that is going on in the audio. So you must be able to identify specific factual information in the audio, right? Recognizing opinions, attitude, and purpose of the speaker. So what is the purpose of the speaker? Like the speaker is trying to explain the results of an experiment, or is trying to put forward his or her opinion to the audience, or is trying to put forward someone else's opinions to the audience. What is the purpose, right? So that is very important to understand what is the idea, what is happening in the audio. And following the development of an argument, how does the person put forward his argument? Okay, how is he, like, is he trying to contradict something, or is he trying to agree to something? Okay, so what is it? What is the flow of the argument? Now, what are the major challenges that the students actually face in the listening test? The first is that the words used in the questions are completely different from the words used in the audio. This is known as paraphrasing. Okay, for example, if you listen to the word famous, if in the question there is a word written as famous, and you have chosen this word, that I'm looking for this word famous in the audio. Okay, because as soon as I'll be able to find this word famous in the audio, I'll get my answers, or I'll get my particular answer that I'm looking for. But what they will deceive you. How will they deceive you? You will not listen to the word famous in the audio. Why? They will replace it with one of its synonyms, such as popular, sensational, right? There can be multiple synonyms used. So sometimes students take keywords from the question and they are waiting for these keywords to come in the audio, but they keep on waiting and the keyword never comes in the audio. Why? Because they will not use the same words. If a question says one of the most remarkable features of an ostrich is blank, so instead of most remarkable feature, they can say a significant characteristic, right? Or a noticeable trait. So the words used in the audio are completely different from the words that are used in the question. So do not take such keywords from the question that can be paraphrased. So what kind of words you should take? Words that cannot be paraphrased, those kind of words you should take as your keywords, and for those words you should listen to the audio, right? So that is one of the things that you should keep in mind. The second thing is accent. So many of the students complain that, sir, what they say in the audio is difficult to understand. I'm not able to understand what they say. Their languages or what they're actually talking about is the accent, right? Their accent is completely different. So you must make sure that before the exam, you are very well aware of the different accents that you may get to listen on the IELTS exam. You will have American, British, Canadian, and Australian accents on the exam. So you must aware yourself, or you must be able to understand it. So beforehand, before the exam, you must train yourself to be able to understand these different accents. So what to do and where to find these accents so that you can prepare before the exam. So my suggestion is that you should start watching BBC or start listening to BBC podcasts every day. Okay, BBC podcasts, or you can listen to BBC News. Okay, watch BBC. Listen to BBC podcast, listen to BBC News. You can also watch something which is TED Talks. So TED Talk is a global platform where speakers from all across the globe come and share their experience. Okay, so since it is a global platform, you will get an access to different kinds of speakers from the different parts of the globe. So that is also a good place to find different kinds of accents, right? The third is the distractors. What are distractors? Distractors, as the name is self-evident, tend to distract you from the correct answers. For every question that they ask you on the IELTS exam, they will actually give you few alternatives. For example, if you're listening to an audio where it says, what kind of movies do you like to watch? Then you will listen to the audio which will say, you listen to the response something like this. There will be a person who says, my friend pushes me to watch comedy movies. My boyfriend asks me to watch thrillers, but I am more interested in watching action movies. So how many genres of movie did you get over here? You got 3 genres, but which is the correct answer? What is the correct answer over here? The correct answer is the one that came at the end, because the question says what is or what kind of movies do you like to watch, right? So it's not about friends, it's not about her boyfriend, it's about the person itself. So that's the answer is actions, right? I like watching action movies. So many of the students get distracted over here because they listen to three alternatives. They listen to thrillers, they listen to comedy, and they listen to action. They tend to get confused. So you should be very aware of what the question is asking and be very targeted for what are you listening to audio. Right? I hope all of you have understood this, right? And the preparation strategies. Yes, good. Okay, so everything has been understood till this point, guys. Until listening test, I hope everything is clear for every one of you. So the listening test is the same for academic as well as general training candidate. There is absolutely no difference here. Now comes the reading test. So after the listening is over, okay. So how will this test differ for the computer-based test? Okay, the candidates who are taking the computer-based test, how will it differ for them? I want to discuss this. Okay. So what will happen is, let's say if you are taking the computer-based test. So do you have anything called question booklet with you? In the paper-based test, you have something known as question booklet, right? But if you're giving the paper-based test, do you have something called as question booklet? No, you don't have a question booklet. What do you have? Rather, the questions are on your computer screen directly, right? So as you are listening to the audios, where are you writing the answers? You are typing your answers directly on the computer screen. So will you get any transfer time if you're taking computer-based test? Because you have already typed your answers on the computer screen at the same time that you're listening to the audios, right? So listening and writing, both the things are going on simultaneously over here. That is at the same time. So will these candidates get any time, any transfer time over here at the end of the audios? Right? They'll not get any transfer time. So paper-based, if you take paper-based test, you get 10 minutes of transfer time. But if you take the computer-based test, here you will just get 2 minutes to check your answers. There is nothing called transfer time over here, right? Because you're directly writing the answers on the computer screen at the same time that you're listening to the audios. I hope this point is very clear to all of you, right? Okay. Now, after your listening test is over, we'll begin your reading test. Okay. Now, reading test is of 60 minutes and you don't have any transfer time over here. Okay. As soon as you find your answers, you simply need to write your answers in the answer sheet. That's it. So on the exam day, what will happen is one sheet has two sides, right? So on one side, you will have your listening answer sheet. You will have to write your listening answers. And on the other side of the same sheet, you are supposed to write your reading answers. Okay. This is for the people who are taking the paper-based test. Definitely for the computer-based test candidates, they'll have to type their answers. So here in 60 minutes, you will be asked to answer 40 questions. You will have to read approximately 2100 to 2700 words. Okay. And so these many words you will have to read on the exam day. Like you will have 3 sections and in total you will have to read these many words. Now there are 12 question types from where the questions are asked in the IELTS reading module. You have true, false not given, yes, no not given, summary completion, matching multiple choice questions. You have matching questions. You have different kinds of 12 question types are there, right? And each of these sections may contain multiple question types, right? One section may contain 3 question types or 2 to 3 question types, right? Now the reading section is different for academic and general training candidates. We will now see how the reading test differs. Sorry. So first about the academic reading test. So guys, the nature of passages are different. I'll tell you that the question types are the same for academic and general training candidates. Okay, both of them have the same question types on the exam, but the nature of passages is something different. The academic candidates have more academic nature of passages. Academic nature of passages means these are taken from journals, magazines, or from some experiment It's more of factual information. Some experiment was conducted, you will get the results of that experiment, or what did scientists find out through a certain study, through a certain uh, experiment, okay, or through a certain research. Or you will get academic stuffs over here. Academic stuffs means you will have physics kind of passages or different kinds of passages. But one thing is for sure, that you don't need to have any prior knowledge on these topics. No prior knowledge is required. Okay, everything will be there in the in your passages only. You have to answer the questions with only the information provided in the passage, nothing else. You don't have to interpret the passages, rather you have to understand the passages. And they may have some non-verbal materials. Non-verbal materials means what? Sometimes along with the text, they may give you a diagram. There is one question type that you have, which is known as diagram labeling. So a passage will be there, and attached to the passage you will have a diagram given. Okay, so they will have 3 sections. So academic candidate will have 3 sections. And okay, one thing that I forgot to tell you about the listening module, guys, is that there are 4 sections in the listening module. All these 4 sections are in increasing order of difficulty. The first one will appear to be a bit easy to you, and as you progress with the sections, you will find that the level of difficulty will also go on increasing. The same happens in your reading test as well. The first passage you will find is a bit easy, and as you proceed with the passages, you will find that the level of difficulty will also go on increasing, in terms of that it will become difficult to spot the answers in the passage. Right? Okay, so that's about the academic reading. So 3 sections, and you will have to read 3 passages. So each section will have 1 passage. Right? Now about the general training reading test. So general training candidates will have passages which are more of general interest. Passages which are related to work environment, or related to natural environment, related to something of, very general information. Okay, relevant to everyday life in an English speaking country, as you can see over here. So these are taken from notices, ads, company handbook, okay, official document, newspapers. So any kind of thing which is non-academic, they will get in the exam. The question types are same over here. The question types, as I said, are the same for academic and general training candidates. So general training candidates will have to read 5 passages. The section 1 will have 2 passages. Section 2 will have 2 passages, and the section 3 will have only 1 passage. Right? So 5 passages in 60 minutes, and 40 questions will be, you will have to answer 40 questions. Now the passages, as I said, will be in increasing order of difficulty. So that's about your reading test. I hope it is understood to all of you. How is it different for academic and general training candidates? Now the skills assessed over here. Reading for gist. Gist means what? What is the overall purpose of the author behind writing this passage? Okay, your ability to be able to summarize the entire information. Then reading for main ideas. You have matching paragraph heading questions, where you will have to give a heading to a paragraph. One of the question types that we have is give a heading to a certain paragraph. So for this question, you will have to understand the main idea of this paragraph. Right? So for which means that you are reading for the main ideas. Reading for details. So we have question types such as true, false not given, yes, no not given, which ask you for very minute details in the passage. Then we have understanding inferences and implied meaning. This question type is very rare on the IELTS exam. Okay. Recognizing a writer's opinion, attitudes, and purpose. So sometimes they will provide their opinion on something. The authors will provide their opinion on something. So you will have to understand what is the purpose of the author behind writing this passage. Is the author trying to contradict someone's point of view, or is trying to put forward his point of view? Getting it? So that is very, very important to understand. And following the development of an argument means where does the passage start from and how does it flow? How do the ideas flow within the passage? So it starts from here, and then it talks about this, and then it talks about this. So how does the passage flow? It helps in answering the question. So that is also tested. Great. Now about the major challenges that students face in the reading module. So here also, in the same way as I discussed about the listening module, you have the problem of paraphrasing. Why students are not able to understand the question, able to find the information or spot the answers in the passage is because the information is paraphrased, means the word used in the question are completely different from the words used in the passage, right? They are paraphrased. They will use synonyms. They will not use the exact words. Okay, that is the first thing. So you should be ready in your mind with the different kinds of what synonyms can be used instead of this word, right? So do not search for a particular word. Be ready with the synonyms as well in your mind. The second thing is very, very important, time management. As the level of difficulty of the passage goes on increasing, you will find that you are spending more time in solving the passage. Okay, definitely it is difficult to answer, to read the entire passage. As I said, you will have to read somewhere around 2100 to 2700 words on the exam day. In 60 minutes, you will have to read these many words, and then you will have to answer 40 questions. So that is difficult. Okay, so what is the way out? The way out is that we don't actually need to read the entire passage to be able to answer these questions. There are two skills that we need to apply, which is skimming and scanning. So you have to learn these skills of skimming and scanning. How can we skim and how can we scan? So we are running our own classes where we tell the students how they can actually answer the questions without reading the passage at all, or just reading the part of the passage. I should not say not reading the passage at all. Definitely you'll have to read the passage, but only the part of the passage that is required to answer the question, nothing else. Okay, so we are running our own course where this is what we teach to the candidates, how to be able to do that. Okay, now I hope that is understood to all of you. That was the reading test. Now coming to the next, which is the writing test. Now writing test is of 60 minutes, and here are two tasks. The first task has to be written in at least 150 words. At least 150 words means what? You have to write more, you have to cross the 150 mark, right? You have to write more than 150 words. And in the task 2, you are supposed to write more than 250 words. Now the writing module is different for academic and general training candidates. For academic candidates, what is the task 1? The task 1 for academic candidates is you will be given, it's known as pictorial representation. Now what is pictorial representation? You will be presented with different types of pictures or diagrams, you can say. What kind of things? You may be given a line graph, bar graph, pie chart, maps, plans, diagrams, processes. Different kinds of things can be given to you. And you will be asked to write a report in at least 150 words. The instruction will say, select and report the main features of the graph, making comparisons where relevant. So you have to select and report the main features, and you have to make comparison between the data shown in the diagram, okay, or in the picture that is presented to you. The task 2 is essay writing. So here you are supposed to write an essay. Now there are 6 essay types that are asked in the exam. These are advantage, agree, disagree, advantage, disadvantage, problem, solution, discuss both views with opinion, discuss both views without opinion, and 2-part question or double question. So these are 6 essay types, and you will be asked to write an essay on any of these 6 essay types, right? So this is the writing module for the academic candidates. Now for the general training candidates, the task 2 remains the same. Both the academic and general training candidates are supposed to write an essay in the task 2. But the task 1 is different for general training. What is the task 1? It is comparatively easier as compared to the academic candidates. Here you are supposed to write a letter, okay, in 150 words. So we know that there are 3 types of letters. We have formal, informal, and semi-formal. So you will be asked to write any one of these types of letters in the exam. Now the skills assessed. Content. The first thing is content. Now what does content mean over here? Content means that whatever you have written should very well answer the question. It should not be irrelevant. Irrelevant means it should be it should not be like it is not related. The question is asking something else and you are answering completely different thing. That should not be there. It should be relevant. It should answer what the question is asking. Organization of your ideas. So how do you organize your ideas in the essay, which is known as coherence? Then is accuracy, how accurate your sentence structures are. So we are supposed to use complex and compound statements on the exam. So they check how accurate your complex and compound structures are. Then you have vocabulary. I hope all of you know what vocabulary is. We are supposed to use some good words while you're writing your exam. Now, good words means some high sounding, high frequency words, and words that are topic specific, means that it depends upon the topic that you are asked in the exam, that will determine what kind of words you are supposed to use. Okay. Uh, the next is grammar, the last thing. So grammar is very important. So with respect to tenses and verbs and different kinds of grammatical errors that we make, that is also counted. So we should not make any grammatical errors. Now, how to get better with the writing, guys? So I would say reading is something that will help you. So you should practice some exercises on conjunctions, because you're supposed to write complex and compound sentences over here. Complex and compound sentences are nothing but application of conjunctions. It just tests your ability of whether you know how to use conjunctions in a sentence or not. So to be able to make these sentences, you should practice. To be able to make compound and complex sentences, you should practice exercises on conjunctions. Then organization. So each and every paragraph should have a main idea, then it should be explained. The main idea should be explained well, and you should give an example. Then you should conclude each of your paragraphs. That's how you should organize your ideas. Okay. Then content. So you should see whether your essay, whatever you are writing, is answering the question or not. Sometimes the students are not able to understand what the question is asking. Therefore, they write something which is completely irrelevant to what the question is asking. The question is asking something completely different, and what they are writing is completely different. So in that case, you will be marked down. So write and have someone who can evaluate. If you have someone around you who can evaluate your essays, that is pretty good. Another thing that can help you is to be able to understand the band descriptors. You can just type on Google IELTS writing band descriptors. Okay, and you'll find a PDF. If you can download and read that PDF, you will understand what is the criteria to score a 7 band in the exam, to score an 8 band in the exam, in the writing module. So you'll understand the criteria over there if you read. Understanding those criteria in detail will definitely enhance your chances of getting a good score. If you have someone around you to mentor you, that is even better. Okay, so writing is the most challenging module considered by the students on the IELTS exam, guys. So you should pay attention to this module. You should write every day, and you should get it evaluated by someone experienced who knows about the IELTS exam. That is very, very important. Okay. Now about your speaking test. So speaking test is the last module, is the last test that you give on the exam day. Usually for the people who take the computer-based test, your speaking is not conducted on the same day. It will be conducted somewhere around 3-4 days before or after your listening, reading, and writing. Okay, so listening, reading, and writing will be conducted on the same day, but speaking will be conducted on a different day for paper-based, for candidates who opt for paper-based test. For candidates who take the computer-based test, for them, the exam will be conducted on the same day but in 2 different slots. Maybe in the first half you will have listening, reading, and writing, and in the second half you will have speaking, or the other way around. In the first half you will have speaking, and in the later part you will the later part of the day you may have listening, reading, and writing. But of course, all the 4 things are not conducted together. So speaking test is divided into 3 parts. Part 1 is known as introduction and interview. This goes for 4 to 5 minutes, though here it is written 3 to 4 minutes. It actually goes for 4 to 5 minutes. Here you will be asked very general questions, very familiar topics, questions from very familiar topics, such as your hometown, about food that you like to eat, about your country, about weather, about clothes, very, very general topics, guys. Okay, so this is just a warm-up round. You can say that very general questions that everybody actually knows the answers of. So this is just a warm-up kind of thing, the first section. Now begins your part 2. So part 2, here also the parts are in increasing order of difficulty in your speaking module. Part 1 is the easiest one, and part 2 will become a bit difficult, and the part 3 is where Okay, can you all hear me now? The video got interrupted for a few seconds, guys. I'm sorry for that. Can you all hear now? Okay, okay, okay. Good. So your fluency and your organization of ideas in the answer, your ability to make compound complex sentences and different grammatical things are uh, tested on your speaking test, on your speaking module. Okay. All right. Shifa, is it still paused? I think it's going on now. Now, if you all are looking for a course, guys, I would like to tell you all about the course that we are conducting. We are conducting our own course actually. Okay. So I would like to tell you all about this course that we are conducting, our own course that GTQ runs. If you have any queries, you can post your queries now. I would take all your queries, right? If you have any queries regarding the preparation and all, so you can ask your queries now. Okay. So if you're facing any difficulty with regards to your preparation, guys, I would say that we have launched our own course for all of you. Right, we are providing a comprehensive 24 hours live training of the IELTS exam. Okay, okay, lovely. The part 3, see, yeah, the part 3 is about you are asked opinion questions on the same topic that you were asked question on in the part 2. The topic is the same in of that as that of the part 2, but you are asked opinion questions. I'm explaining it now. In the part 3, you are asked questions on the same topic as that in the part 2. So if in the part 2 you got a question on academic, let's say the topic of the part 2 is academics. So in the part 3 you will be asked opinion questions on the same, such as, do you think it is important for everyone to have an academic goal in their life? So they're asking for your opinion, right? So the topic remains the same as that of the part 2, but questions over here are opinion questions. I hope this is very clear now. So if you people are preparing for your IELTS exam, I hope this webinar has helped you all. So if you all want to further be facilitated with your application process, do you help in applying in universities? Yes, Harshirjan, we help with that too. We have processing for admissions for admissions too. Yes, 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 we do that. We do that. Okay. We do your application processing and everything that is required for your application and shortlisting of universities and all. Shrishti, please take a note of her surgeon. Her surgeon will our team will reach to you. You can have a conversation with them. We can assist you regarding that. Okay. So guys, if you all are preparing, I hope this session has helped you all. So if you are looking forward towards enrolling somewhere for the IELTS exam, I would say we are providing our own live training, that is 24 hours of comprehensive course of the IELTS exam. Now here what we are providing is 6 hours of training on individual module. This is for both academic and general training candidates. Okay. So I would like to tell you all about this. So we are providing you unlimited mocks in this course, guys. This live training, we are providing you unlimited mocks over here. The validity of the course is 6 months. Means once you have enrolled with us, the validity, you can attend the classes multiple times within 6 months. Okay. Abhishek, your question is, guys, don't ask such questions which are out of the scope of this webinar. Okay. Yes, yeah, I can help you with that too. If anything is relevant, Abhishek, your question is about Okay, guys, ask the questions which are within the scope of this webinar. Okay, if you have any questions regarding the IELTS exam, you can ask those. Or if you have any questions regarding if you want to inquire about this course, then you can ask about it. So guys, this is the course that we are providing. So the validity is of 6 months. Means that once you have enrolled with us, you can attend the live classes within 6 months, multiple number of times, as many times as you want. Every class that is taken, we record the videos. Okay. What if I want to attend the training for 1 month only? Harshirjan, the training is of 1 month only. Means 1 month is required to complete the course. After that, you will take mocks. The validity of the course is 6 months. Means that within this 6 months, if you want to attend the classes again, you can come back and you can watch you can attend the classes as many times as you want. Shifa, you get the test within 14 days if you're taking the paper-based test. Okay, so every student who enrolls with us gets a login ID and password on the GTQ portal, and every class that they take is recorded. And the video of this class is uploaded on your dashboard. So you can watch these videos, you can attend the live classes if you want, or if you want to attend these videos, I mean, you can watch these videos at your convenience within 6 months. I mean, until 6 months, it's there on your dashboard. So how do we conduct these classes? Our Monday to Thursday is the classes that we conduct. Okay, so every Monday we start with a module and Thursday we end with the module. And at the end of the module, the students are asked to write sectional mocks. So let's say Monday to Thursday we complete the listening module. So on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you will be writing sectional mocks. That is mocks related to the listening module. Again on the next week, Monday we will start with the reading module, let's say. So Monday to Thursday we have the class of the reading module, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday you will be writing sectional mock. That is the mock of the reading module. Similarly, like this, at the end of the 4th week or the end of the 1 month, you can say, when the entire course is completed for of your IELTS, then you start writing full length mocks. And how many full length mocks? We are providing you unlimited full length mocks. Write as many mocks as you feel until you feel that you are confident enough to give the exams or to give your IELTS exam. Okay, so first you are writing sectional mocks and then you are writing, so we are providing you 3 sectional mocks first as soon as we complete a certain module. And after that, at the end of the entire course, we are providing you unlimited full length mocks. So if you have any questions regarding this course, if you're interested, you can let me know. Our team will reach to you and you can enroll with the course. We are also providing evaluation services. That is, if you feel there are candidates who say that they can prepare for listening and reading by themselves. So in the case you want someone to evaluate your writing and speaking, so we are providing evaluation services for that, where we provide you 5 writing and 5 speaking mocks. Now this is the mock test series where you're providing now. If you think that you can prepare by your own, even though it is difficult, there are candidates who feel that they can prepare for the IELTS exam all by themselves. So in that case, you can take our mock test series. That is, we are providing you 5 full length mocks over here. Okay, so we are providing 5 listening, 5 reading, and writing and speaking. So 5 full length mocks over here. And then, as I said about the live training, this is a comprehensive course. Live training means everything along with mocks, your complete training for the IELTS exam. And the most powerful tool is the personal training. If anyone feels that they are very poor with the English language, or you have a poor grasp over the language, you're not very confident with the language, so we can go with the personal training. Now, personal training is a one-on-one training, that it is just the trainer and the student in the class. It's a one-on-one training, so it's a personalized mentoring. Okay, so here we start with the basics first. If you feel that you need to first strengthen your basics, so we'll work on your basics first. Whatever the part of the grammar is required to work on, okay, whatever is required to do well in the IELTS exam, we'll discuss that first. We'll start with that, and then we'll proceed to the actual IELTS content, right? So that is more of that was about personal training. So that is more of very personalized training. That is a self-paced course. I mean, the course goes at your pace. So if you have any queries regarding this, you can ask your questions now. Is paper-based test fine or computer-based test? Chandana, I have discussed the differences. In the paper-based test, you get 10 minutes of transfer time in the listening module, which you will not get in the computer-based test. Further, in the writing module, you will have to type your entire answer, which you will not get in the in the paper-based test. It's easy to do. So if you feel that you are good with the typing, then you can go for the computer-based test. So it depends upon you. Is TOEFL and IELTS have same exam of pattern of exam? Rashri, the pattern is completely different. I mean, they both test you on the same 4 skills, that is listening, reading, writing, and speaking, but the pattern is completely different. Okay, it's pretty much differences there. Yes. Any other things, guys? If you erase and write the answers, is it acceptable or given? See, as far as it is readable to the examiner, it's absolutely fine. That's it. If you're erasing it so much that you're writing upon it and it is not very clear what the candidate is writing, then there is something called at the bottom of your answer sheet. There is something called illegible. Illegible means if the examiner is unable to read your answers, then he will put a tick mark in the illegible column. I mean, at the place of the illegible, and your answer sheet might not be evaluated. Yes, the results, you get the results a bit faster for if you take the computer-based test. Within 4 or 5 days, it was reported, Veronica, usually. How many times can you appear for the exam? There is no as such limitation for the attempts. Anusha, you can give it multiple times, as many times as you want. See, yeah, it's not about difficulties. Yeah, we cannot categorize whether which is TOEFL is difficult or IELTS is difficult. In terms of pattern, I would say that IELTS has an easier pattern as compared to the TOEFL exam. TOEFL has more of integrated tasks. Okay, so in the listening module, you're not just listening, you're doing reading and speaking also. So they have integrated tasks over here, which is not the case of IELTS. Yes, Rajeshwari, we can do a crash course for you in case your exam is for 1 week, is within a week, right? Okay, Rajeshwari, we can do a crash course for you, right? So we can discuss the things. You can yes, we have a crash course, Rajeshwari. Our team will reach to you in case you're interested. You can enroll for a crash course, and yeah, we can do that. We do have a crash course for it. Okay. So any other questions, guys, related to the course or anything? So currently we are providing a huge discount on all these courses that we are providing on these different services. So if you are looking for the IELTS training, I would say you can go for the comprehensive live training, guys, which is a 24 hours course where we are providing you the validity of the course is 6 months, as I said, and you don't need to buy any materials once you enroll with us in this course. Okay, you don't need to buy any materials. All the materials are provided with us only. I mean by us only. Okay, any more questions? Rajeshwari, our team will reach to you. We do have a crash course. You can join and you can take the crash course as well. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Right, so we have a demo session tomorrow. Any one of you who is interested in attending, I mean, if you're preparing for the IELTS exam, you must appear for this demo session. We are conducting a demo session for the writing module tomorrow. Okay, we are conducting a demo session tomorrow for on the writing module. Right, it's 3 to 4 p.m. The link will be sent to all of you. Do attend it. Yeah, thank you. Do attend the demo tomorrow, guys. Okay, 3 to 4 p.m. The link will be shared with all of you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.